So I didn't catch Cashville's live, but I did watch it back when I came in late last night or wee hours of the morning, I suppose. And yeah, I feel like I need to give my opinion on that. And because some of the players I've had my dealings with. And, I'm not sure what the beef is between Dane Hall and Sieper. Couldn't tell you. I don't watch all these live streams. I never even heard of Sieper till recently. But yeah, anybody claiming to have 4 bars that make 30 or 50 grand a week and it's just absolute utter nonsense. So already there's a credibility issue. And, lest we forget the game that Dana Hall played with me and the P word. As some of you may or may not know, one afternoon in the comments of one of my videos where I'm, calling out Upchurch's horrid behavior towards a bunch of innocent people while higher than a kite, a person, an anonymous, faceless account shows up in my comments asking for my address because they're going to come and beat me up and beat my wife up and beat my kid up and beat everybody up, right? And this went on for about, I'd say, a good 4 or 5 attempts. What's your address? I'm going to come beat you up. And when I'm in the comments on my own video, on my clearly rated adult channel, it's safe for me to assume I'm engaging with another adult when I'm responding to physical threats of violence. And then after the fact, or during that debate, said, I'm not a dude, I'm a girl. And I said, well, good, hurry up before my Viagra wears off. Just a smart ass answer to a faceless, anonymous account making physical threats in my comments. And little Miss Dana Hall came by after the fact and tried to pretend, because that's what it was, absolute pure pretend, that it was her 17-year-old daughter and I was trying to lure her to my house, and she went on that rant for a good 2 months on every podcast that would let her on, until it finally got so absurd people just quit letting her come on and spew it. But it was unmitigated slander, right? That she fabricated out of thin air and tried to take to a real life scenario. So this isn't the first time Miss Dana has been involved in this type of thing. I also have reason to believe that she was the one that called the lady at Lowe's and made the false CPS report, because they said it was a female with a southern drawl. And it was right about the same time she was spewing that nonsense that some anonymous, faceless account that showed up on my video in my comments wanting my address so they could come and beat me up was me trying to pick up her 17-year-old non-existent daughter. So anyway, and we all know no 17-year-old girl is going to be in the comments of some 60-year-old man wanting their address, come and beat them up because they critiqued some rapper dude. I mean, it's just nonsense. It was just Dana being Dana. And so I don't feel a bit sorry for her. She takes a lot of shade over this. I think she's got it coming. Karma's a bitch. When you're dishonest things happen to you. And, Crack Squad's got a history of this. And there's another player that seems to be at the center of every person that's been bothered outside of YouTube, and that's Wade Deaver. Here's another jackass that I don't know from Adam. I've never spoken to the dude. I wouldn't know he existed, but for he made 40 some videos slandering me. He went on my Facebook, and he had to stay up all night and part of a day to go back 16 years, like trying to send friends requests and messages to anybody that ever commented on my Facebook, going clear back 16 some years, because he couldn't. My friends list was set to private, and in that process, he repeatedly emailed a underage relative. And again, this is somebody I don't know this dude from Adam. I've never said he would have no reason to have a beef with me. All of this behavior is him making a desperate attempt to get attention from a popular YouTuber. That's what makes it sick. It's not like he's out settling a beef or settling a score with somebody that did something to him. It's literally him simping for Upchurch. As sad as that is. Same thing with Ismic, another one that did the exact same thing. Didn't know the guy from Adam, never spoke to him. Next thing you know, he's making 30-some videos for anywhere from physical threats to the P word and everything in between. Crack Squad's got a history of having the P word on the brain. All of them. And then, of course, you got Seeper, a monumental, insecure liar and coward, right? I mean, yeah, you're right, Cashville. He's got a right to not show his face if he don't want to. But what he doesn't have a right to do is then go mess with people that do put their face on their videos. And go outside of YouTube and do all kind of sleazy shit with Wade, who has a history of doing the same thing. Right? So, Seeper, if somebody doxed him right now, he fucking deserves it. And he's a coward, just like Rusty Truck. Big, huge, massive coward. Can't put his face on the words that come out of his mouth because he's scared, petrified that someone will recognize him and call him out on his bullshit. And that's what Rusty Truck's afraid of. And that's what Seeper's afraid of. Oh my gosh, if I put my face on these words I'm saying, I might be held to account. Cowardness. That's just all it is. You can discount it. Oh, gee, I just want to remain anonymous. Well, if somebody wanted to remain anonymous, they wouldn't inject theirself in such a public way to other people who aren't being anonymous. And so that's sort of my 2 cents on that. And, it brings us back to Wade. I think it's Wade's long overdue for a taste of his own medicine. He repeatedly goes outside of YouTube into people's personal lives. He thinks it's funny. He'll shack up with any sleaze bag that'll shack up with him, to bother people in real life. And then you've got the Crack Squad cult, and it is a cult. It's very much a cult. The Gotcha Man proved what a cult Crack Squad is. The Gotcha Man was in agreement with people like me that say, hey, very wrong for a celebrity to be slandering and doxing and bullying and smearing smaller people that don't have the ability to fight back. I mean, no celebrity should be using their social media influence to hurt people in real life the way he was doing, especially high as a kite. And the Gotcha Man seemed to be somebody that would be on the side of, yeah, that's a pretty shitty thing to do. And while he was doing that, Crack Squad hated him. Isaac doxed his address. Wade doxed his address. Rusty Truck talked trash about him. They all talked trash about the Gotcha Man while I defended him and promoted his videos. And all he did was make one video criticizing me, and now he's Crack Squad's best friend. And there you have it. So it's a cult. It's not, they don't judge people based on character. They judge people based on if you either have to be in 100% agreement with us to be in the cult, or if you disagree with us on one single thing, you are an enemy of the cult. And that is the very essence of a cult. And that is Wade Deaver to a T. He's got no life. He uses his cancer as a crutch and pity while he chain smokes, setting up, staring at 5 monitors that won't do a damn thing 5 open tabs won't do, bothering into people's personal lives in an attempt to get attention from Ryan Upchurch. He doesn't bother people that he's got a beef with, any kind of personal beef with. He just goes after anybody that's in disagreement with a single word uttered by Upchurch the bully, who for some reason decided to sabotage his own career, likeness, and brand by being an absolute frickin' jerk. And it's funny, you know, to a fan like myself that saw his come up, was there supporting him during the come up, to watch him throw it all away over an ego because he just can't find a way to admit he was wrong and apologize. So let's just keep this thing to the floor and drive it right off the cliff. And that is exactly what he's done with the help of Crack Squad. And they still don't take it serious. They're the only bunch of people I know that you could show them the damage that a tornado does. You could take them to where a tornado touched down and show them houses that are ripped to shreds with fatalities and everything else. You could teach them what causes a tornado and show them how the sky starts rotating and a funnel cloud drops and then there's just destruction. And you can literally take them to where the destruction is and they can touch it and feel it and smell it and hold it and everything. But they will refuse to believe a tornado's coming, even if you point at it and go, see the sky rotating, see the funnel coming down, a tornado's coming, y'all better duck. Unless their cult leader says duck, they're not going to duck. I mean, they're the most mindless, low IQ simpletons on YouTube that literally watch a video of a girl doing what 17,000 other drivers a year do. And that is accidentally drive themselves in the water at night and perish. And they've actually, and then they can't believe, they get stuck on stupid that there must be some conspiracy because the police didn't find the car in the water, when that's not what the police do. They're not sonar experts. They don't hardly know anything about it. And the police fail to find people in the water so often that there are 5 or 6 YouTube channels hammering out a hell of a good living finding all the people in the water that the police couldn't find. But yet Crack Squad refuses to believe that the police weren't able to find her car when they were using some borrowed sonar that they had a 1-hour crash course in using. And the water was high and muddy. Biggest bunch of simpletons I've ever seen. And I don't know. And so to close, you know, we spent some money on a private investigator because we needed proper data to file the lawsuit against Rusty Truck for allowing people to come on his live stream, use my real name, my real address, my real phone number, my real birth date, and the real last four of my social, as he hovered over my house in Google Maps while these people said that I was the P word. And then he went to my business, slandered my business, slandered the likeness, Facebook page, YouTube channel, and website, resulting in over 50 bad reviews being left in various places around the internet. So when that happened, it was time to hold him accountable. And so we hired a private investigator to do that. And in the process, they gave us photos of where Wade lives. And I want to be clear when I say this, okay? If you think Wade's teeth look bad, you ought to see the way that turd lives. Them people are absolute straight up garbage. There is trash piled outside the front door where they're too lazy to take it to the dumpster that the park provides. There's ruts where we don't park in the driveway. We do the ghetto shit where we drive clear up to the front steps. And it's just a trashy place. So we knew right away, you waste your time suing that turd. You know, he lives with his in-laws and they don't have any money and he don't have any money. And they live like straight up garbage. And I'm not just saying that, folks. I mean it. It's trashy place. And, you know, and I'll ask, you can put in the comments, okay, is it time for Wade Deaver to get a taste of his own medicine? Should we post those photos? Should I maybe just drive by the place, not to do anything to him, but just to videotape how he lives so you can all see that the whole, oh, woe is me, pity me, I'm a hard-working middle-class dude that lived right, and me and my wife are empty nesters, and we're so much better than this psychobabble dude, and will you please send me money and feel sorry for me because I got cancer, and my doctor told me I was terminal and gave me a date, and that date is long past. As he sits and chain smokes, digging through someone's Facebook going back 16 years to try to contact people they know because up church. Is it time for him to face his own medicine? And as I said, Dana Hall's another one. Is it time for her to face her own medicine? This is the second time she's done this kind of thing, right? No stranger to it. As I said, we have reason to believe she's the one that did the false CPS report and was bothering the lady that worked at Lowe's and was contacting the family of a guy that was in prison, thinking it was my kid, all because these people had the same last name, and none of them were related to me at all. And a police report was made. The lady at Lowe's had a police report made, but we didn't have any address or anything. You know, there was nothing you could do about it. What now we do. Since she bothered the heck out of this guy and his family, we do have her address. So do I take that address over to the officer and let him finish up his report and move forward with the charges? Do I call CPS and say, here, the person you suspected, here's their address, here's their phone number? I mean, since she played this game, making up this story about me luring her daughter to her house after I responded to an anonymous account in my comments on my adult-rated channel, responded to threats of physical violence. So is it time? Is it time for these people to get a taste of their own medicine. Because Wade Deaver's been at the center of much of this controversy with people being bothered in real life. He thinks it's a game. He's got nothing but time. He don't work. He don't have to pay no bills. Everybody carries him in life, so he can just sit there on the internet all night bothering people will cuz up church. You know, is it time for Dana Hall to get a taste of her own mess? She keeps talking about people going to jail. Well, you know what? If you're the one that did the false CPS report, you'll be going to jail. If you're the one that was calling and threatening the lady at Lowe's, you'll be the one going to jail. You know, it's, you know, running around calling people the pedo word using some made-up story. How many people did you tell that story to, Dana? Going on one live podcast after another. White knighting for Ryan Upchurch, sticking your nose in something that didn't pertain to you in the slightest bit. Because we all know no child was in my comments wanting my address so they could come and beat me up. That didn't happen. Any place but in your head. And, you know, Seeper, you know. No, I want to remain anonymous and not show my face. Well, then quit fucking with people, I would say. And quit telling these big monumental fibs. I mean, if you had to deal with half of what I've dealt with, you'd probably be on here crying like some victim, like Wade will. The first time Wade gets a taste of his own medicine, he's going to cry like a victim. You watch. And he'll do the same thing Eismick did, cry like he's some kind of victim, like, oh gosh, I got attacked out of nowhere after I made 40 some videos threatening this person and calling him the P word and all and everything else. You know, should I stay up all night digging through his shit? You know, should I tell the private investigator dig further? Because Wade's got a bit of a history of his own, don't you, Wade? I mean, is it just time? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. But, yeah, this crap of going outside of YouTube, I don't feel sorry for any of you get burnt doing that shit. That stuff's just over-the-top nonsense. Hey, and if you guys want to get a real treat, go in the comments of my last video working on the truck and look for InfoWarriors comments. You want to see somebody get triggered by somebody else's skill and belongings or whatever. This guy, just go read it, man. He couldn't, like I said before, if you're honest in your critiques, people will have respect for you. But when you just blindly slobber on stuff because you disagree with somebody, it's just so, it just comes across as insecure and jealous. And if you guys want to see a little crackhead get triggered, go read his comments. He's got bigger, better, longer, badder, more, everything. And he's literally angry at a video of me just putting a lift kit on a truck. Crack squad. We're going to defeat you little turds. And we're going to expose you little turds. It's time for you guys to change the channel. Big time.